Your personal development matters the most from where you are right now. Bring your career into new heights with our affordable and quality in-demand virtual training programs designed just for you. Give your career a boost with a course or a training from Stellar Training Consultancy Services and join thousands of professionals from different walks of life in a learning and development session that fascinates you, motivates you, challenges you to learn new things that you'll use forever in a career you'll love. Find the right training for you today here at Stellar Training Consultancy Services, bringing excellence to professionals.
Panalangin bago magsimula ang pagpupulong. Panginoong Hesus, sinabi mo, kung saan may 2 o 3 nagkakatipon sa ngalan ko, kapiling nila ako. Panginoon, inihahandog namin sa iyo ang pagpupulong na ito. Gabayan mo kami sa aming pagtatalakayan at tanglawan mo ng liwanag ng Espiritu Santo ang aming mga isip upang makita namin ang naaayon sa iyong kalooban. Basbasan mo ang mga gagawin naming pagkilos at patnubayan kami sa bawat hakbang. Nagtitiwala kami na magiging maayos at mabunga ang aming pagtitipong ito, sapagkat narito ka sa aming piling. Amen.
Sa paglayang minamahal, ang isa kang watawat mo'y Are you a medical professional, an educator, an engineer, or a professional seeking specialized training programs? Stellar Training Consultancy Services is the right training center for you. STCS issues highly government recognized certification programs that help you as a professional in your career goals. STCS ensures regulatory and statutory compliance to protect you as you skyrocket your career to the top. STCS offers various training modes such as face-to-face sessions, blended sessions, and virtual sessions to ensure the accessibility and availability of the training programs. All training programs offered by Stellar Training Consultancy Services are well thought and created professionally to ensure reliability and retention among participants. Stellar Training Consultancy Services, bringing excellence to professionals.
Good morning po sa lahat. Magandang umaga. Hold on. Let me just fix something. All right. I hope is everyone is doing fine. I'm very glad to know that even if it's on a Saturday or weekend po, you're still spending your time for professional development. Kamusta po ang lahat? I'd like to start this casually so that um, later on you're going to feel comfortable po sa ating discussion or sa atin pong seminar workshop. Okay, magandang umaga. Sorry for the technical problem. My Zoom experience a technical it's not really a technical problem. Nag automatically update siya. So I had a hard time getting in. But yeah, once again, good morning. I'd like us to use the chat box, maximize the chat box. And for now, I'd like to ask a question. Very casual lang po. Ano po yung ating ulam for breakfast for today's video? Ano po yung ating ulam for today? Gutumin niyo naman po ako because I haven't had my breakfast yet. Okay, so type po natin sa chat box. All right. So I can see, let me see. Kung may mga responses na po ba. How about our training teams? Ano po ba yung ating breakfast today? Let's try to maximize the use of our chat box, ladies and gentlemen. Our beloved participants, before we formally begin our discussion. Okay. Let me. Okay, kamusta po? All right, hold on. Adobong kangkong, bread and coffee for Sir Lumer Santos. Oh, bigay naman dyan, training team. All right, so, okay. Si Sir Lumer, wow, bread and coffee, ang pambansang breakfast ng bayan. I had my bread and coffee too. All right, I'll just wait for the others to respond. And I believe, okay, change ko lang po muna yung ating background kasi nag-update lahat. All right. So this morning, dear participant, meatloaf with egg. All right. Nakakagutom na nga talaga, Meris eh. All right. So allow me to share my screen with you. Welcome to our training on, hold on. Yep. Okay. Welcome to our training on Logistics 101, Inventory Control and Management Training. While you are responding, si Ma'am Yana has now responded, scrambled egg covered with loaf bread. All right. Wow, mga egg and mga coffee and bread. Okay, maraming salamat. What's important is you have come here. Your stomach is well ready, and I believe it's now your heart and your mind that could actively work because nakapag-breakfast na po tayong lahat. Okay, I'd like to just mention the training rules. Please turn on your camera for the first 20 minutes of the training for attendance purposes. I'll be doing that later on my end kasi, all right, there, wala pang background. But yeah. Okay. So, and wear proper clothing since the session will be recorded for quality in management purposes. Be attentive and be interactive during the discussion. And let's respect everyone because we have come here from different walks of life and we have varied perspectives. And I believe that we deserve respect from each other because yun nga, iba-iba tayo ng pinagdaanan, iba-iba tayo ng perspectives on things. Okay? So this time, let us have our program intended learning outcomes. Today, dear participant, you will be able to give and to give or to understand the process of inventory management and control and be able to um, give importance to the essence of the inventory management in the organization. You'll also be able to appreciate the benefits of having a clear and well-established inventory management system in the organization. Participants will be able to know some inventory management and control best practices by many renowned organizations, and participants will be able to explore, recognize, and synthesize the four most common inventory strategies and practice how each strategy is done. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our dear participants, let's have this question first. Let me share the sound para mas thrilling. The question is, what are your current struggles in doing inventory control and management? Sino po dito ito yung inyong job description or ito inyong main task to do some inventory control and management? All right. So, sino po dito? Tingnan natin po muna kung ano yung ating mga okay, ano yung ating mga job descriptions. Sige, please type in the chat box ano po yung ating mga ano yung ating mga trabaho? Inventory staff. I see. This is so, I believe this is relevant, mostly relevant to you, Sir Loomer. And also, yeah, this is important also to all of us, no? Kasi we are acquiring skills. Even if we don't need them right away, sooner or later, we don't know. Okay? We will be needing them naman in the near future. Okay. What receiving inventory staff. Okay. Sige. Uh yeah, the reason why I'm asking you about your job, about the nature of your job, is for me to appropriate examples and to substantiate this seminar workshop or this training to you, our participants. Yun naman po talaga ang pinakamahalaga. Okay. So we'll have first, kasi si Sir Luber po yung pinakaunang nag-respond. Sir, I'd like to ask you to unmute your microphone po. Ano po yung pinaka nahirapan kayo sa inventory control and management?
Good morning po.
Okay.
Miss po.
Miss Lumer?
Girl po, girl.
Okay, sorry. Because I have a co-teacher named Lumer too. This is a common parang ano yan, uh, name na for girls and boys then. Okay, sige
Opo.
ma'am, Miss Lumer.
Kasi we do it manually. Yung talagang you have to record the in and out of all the stock. So now nagpo-post kami ng mga naghahanap kami ng mga system na pwede naming magamit kasi hindi naman masyadong malaki para sa hindi naman yung pang grocery or yung mga malalaking mga stores, hindi naman. So school po kasi ako nag-work. So
I
hindi
see.
naman masyadong madami yung i-inventory para kumuha ka pa ng napakamahal na mga system na ginagamit ng mga malalaking company. So nag-i-scout pa kami ng system na gagamitin. So we do it manually. Meron kaming stock card, in, out, delivery, ganun. So pag makalimutan mo mag-update, mangangamot ka ng ulo kung saan napunta yung isang item. Yun, mahirap.
Okay. Yeah, so these are all right, these are very important things na sometimes no, there are what we call hindi natin po maiwasan. Tama po ba? May mga hindi natin no matter how much like we prepare or we execute, meron talagang mga bagay na hindi natin kontrolado. So in these situations give us a struggle in the inventory. All right po. Maraming salamat po, Miss Lumer. And yeah, good job po for sharing your experience. Okay, let's continue. Here, let's go to the introduction to inventory control and management. Okay, so I'm a teacher by profession. It is always my um, favorite thing to ask my uh, participants to read. Okay, that is one way also of one indicator that or one way of letting the participants participate. Okay, so we'll start with for a while from the participants. Dito sa aking video pane, I have is Ma'am Miss Adan May. Okay, Miss Adan, you don't have to explain, just read everything that you can see now on your screen. Thank you.
Good morning po.
Good morning po. So
So
what is yeah, go on.
inventory control is concerned with the acquisition, storage, handling, and use of inventories as to ensure the availability of inventory whenever needed, providing adequate provision for contingencies, deriving maximum economy, and minimizing wastage and losses.
All right. Yes. So it's very clear in here that inventory control is concerned with, therefore, acquisition, storage, handling, and the use of inventory so as to ensure the availability. So let's focus our selves or our mind on the four things: acquisition, storage, handling, and use. Acquiring, diba? Storing, handling, and using. As we go on, and these are very important, no? Napakahalaga that we have the control of our inventory. We have control of our resources as to ilan na lang, or is there need to acquire, saan siya na store, how safe they are stored, okay, the handling and until they are being used. Kaya napakahalaga po ng ating trabaho and napaka importante this kind of activity or part, all right, or job description to be exact, is vital in the progress in everyday activities, in the uh, daily progress no, ng ating company, ng organization. So let's find out. What is an inventory and what is inventory management? I'll be asking Sir Arman to read to us the definition of these definition of terms. You may unmute your microphone, sir.
Hello sir, good morning.
Okay. Good morning po.
Inventory, a physical resource that a firm holds in stock with the intent of selling it or transforming it into a more valuable state. While inventory management is a set of policies and controls that monitors levels of inventory and determines what levels should be maintained, when stock should be replenished, and how large orders should be placed.
All right, very good. So, no, inventory, as it is a physical resource, okay, that a firm holds in stock. All right, and the reason is you're going to sell it or transform it into a more valuable state, especially if you use it, okay, in the company, in your daily activities, in in every small activity that you do within the company, in the context of your organization, or if you sell these stocks. So yeah, but in inventory management is a set of policies and controls, all right? The purpose here is of course to know, this is to manage the inventory, manage the resources in simpler terms, okay? And this concerns the maintenance, this concerns the control, if there are resources that need to be replenished, need to be changed, okay, need to be, there are things that need to be ordered or reordered. Okay, so thank you. Now let's go to the reason, the reason behind why do we really have to do inventory or inventory control. All right. So let's have okay. Let me turn off my camera first. I can see so that I would be able to see the names better. All right. Ma'am Juneth. Ma'am Juneth, why do we
Yes,
do
sir.
inventory control? Please read.
Inventory control can make or break a company. This explains the usual saying that inventories are the graveyard of a business. Designing a sound inventory control system is in a large measure for balancing operations. It is the focal point of many seemingly conflicting interests and considerations, both short range and long range.
Okay, thank you po, ma'am. All right. So, yeah, like what was read, inventory control is important kasi it can make or break a company. Simply saying, it can make or break a company. When can it make the company? Of course, because of inventory, you have you have if you do inventory control, you do things better. Okay? Alam mo, kontrolado mo yung resources. Alam mo kung, 'di ba, tayo we do in simple ways, we do inventory control sa ating mga bahay. Kung meron pa ba tayong stocks, meron pa ba tayong bigas, meron pa ba tayong pera, so meron pa ba tayong resources. Yeah, right. We always check, and we don't only check, but we also make sure that they are in good condition. Okay, so um, they are the graveyard of a business. Okay, why do we say that? Kasi yung inventories, wala silang katapusan. Alright? Wala silang end. Alright? Habang may ginagamit tayong resources, walang katapusan ang inventory control. Alright? We also design, we have to design because it's very important that we have to plan out, we have to design a sound control system. Okay? Especially if large measures or large amount of resources that we are handling. Okay. Now, let's go to, well, let's watch this video, by the way. Okay, ayan. Tingnan muna natin ito. Please watch this and tell me what's your takeaway from this video. All right, hold on. Oh, all right. Oh, I'm using a different device right now and QuickTime is not available. We'll just view it later. Okay, for now, let's have the objectives of inventory control. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be asking Sir Leo or Leo, okay, to read to us objectives of inventory control. Thank you. Sure.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So the ob- Hello, Sir Claro, sir.
Yes, pa. Yes, pa. You're heard. Thank you, pa.
So the objectives of inventory control. First is to meet the unforeseen future demand due to the variation of forecast figures and actual figures. To meet the customer requirement timely, effectively, efficiently, smoothly, and satisfactorily. To facilitate intermittent production of several products on the same facilities. To average out demand fluctuations due to the seasonal or cyclic variations, to minimize losses due to the deteriorations, obsolescence, damage, pil- pilferage, and etc., to reduce loss due to the change in prices of inventory items.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. So yeah, those are the objectives of inventory control, and we're going to discuss this later one by one. But before that, okay, uh, you- all right, I'll be asking our technical support to play, okay, the video. Okay, so the technical team will be sharing to us the video para po, and I'd like everyone to take note of what's your takeaway from it. What did you learn from the video? Just one important point uh, will do. Thank you. Before we go back to the objectives,
Inventory management tracks the flow of goods from manufacturer to warehouse to consumer. But it's not just an internal process for inventory tracking purposes, it directly affects the customer relationship. Effective inventory management maintains a balance between customer satisfaction and company profits, ensuring there are enough products to sell without spending too much getting them into customers' hands. Fluctuations in demand, seasonality, supply chain logistics, and a product's natural life cycle can make managing inventory feel like aiming for a moving target, which is why managing inventory through an ad hoc combination of spreadsheets, multiple apps, or pen and paper can often cripple a business. That's where an automated inventory management solution comes into play. It provides inventory visibility across all channels, tracking orders and fulfillment to and from customers and suppliers. This helps manage inventory while also optimizing processes, saving businesses time and money, and ultimately ensuring customer satisfaction.
All right, thank you, team. Yeah, okay, let me share once more. Okay. So sa mga nag-respond kanina, that their job has something to do with inventory, we have an inventory analyst here, Ma'am Liana. Ma'am Liana, what did you learn from the video? What thing can you say na makaka-relate talaga kayo and you really say that it's right? If you wish to unmute your microphone po, Ma'am Liana, you may do so. Okay, I can see a message. Ma'am Loomer, are you using software po in the inventory in your inventory control and management? Ma'am Loomer? I think she all right. But how do you do your inventory management? What do you use? Is it only a typical tool? I see no problem, Ma'am Liana. I do understand. What do you use, Ma'am Loomer? You can unmute your microphone po, ma'am. What do you specifically use for inventory?
Good morning, sir. Ano
Morning
po
po.
kami, sir? Stock card, and then meron po kaming Excel file for inventory. Yun lang po. Kasi
The
po, ang
Excel.
gumagamit po ng software ay ang taga-purchasing office po. Sila po ang may software for QuickBooks ang ginagamit nila. So, hindi pa
I
ako
see.
nakaka-connect. Kasi
All
sabi,
right.
ang QuickBooks daw po ay merong inventory system daw po, pero hindi pa namin na-explore o hindi pa ako nabibigyan ng access.
Okay, the one that you have, okay, thank you po, Ma'am Liumar. The one that you have seen in the video, that's Oracle NetSuite. It's a software for inventory. It's also really good. Yeah, it's good. So for good for inventory, it's tested and proven. Uh, Good for inventory. It will make your inventory management system and control effective and efficient. Uh, with Ma'am Liana, they have an active one system na gamit nila, the Excel file and the stock cards. All right. So, thank you. Sa kanila, Sir Leo naman ay count sheet and Excel file. Excel really works for most, if not all, no? Uh, but if marami ng bultuhan na po, or if ang dami-dami na nating resources that we need to like manage and control, yeah, I think a software will make everything come at ease, no? Napakadali at napaka-effective, efficient. So yun naman po talaga yung ating time is of the essence. It's also one thing that we invest on, no, yung oras. Pag mas napapadali yung trabaho, become more productive in it. So the objectives are self-explanatory. We can relate, I believe most of us can relate to this, to meet unforeseen future demand due to variation in forecast figures and actual figures. Yung napapaghandaan po natin if kakailangan na natin ang particular resource or stock to meet the customer requirement timely, effectively, efficiently, smoothly, and satisfactorily because we have a proper control, we have a proper management and monitoring. No, okay na. Bibigyan natin kay customer kung anong kailangan nila, kung kailan nila kailangan at kung ano yung specific requirements nila. To facilitate intermittent production of several products on the same facility. Yung hindi agad na ibibigay, we need gradual yung delivery or no, 'di ba, yung production kasi tingi hindi bultuhan. We can facilitate it better because of inventory control. The average out demand of fluctuations due to seasonal or cyclic variation. Ito din, there are still things being considered in inventory management control. Even the external factors that affect the production or that need to be considered for production na kokontrol din natin. To minimize losses due to deterioration, obsolescence, damage, pilferage, etc. Because like what I said, it's a graveyard activity. Meron tayong control every hour, every minute of um, yeah, of the business processes or uh, our work processes to reduce loss due to changes in prices of inventory items. Yan. Kasi nga, even the price of the goods, the materials that we use, kontrolado din natin or we monitor them um, from time to time. Okay. Now, these are the materials that need, the one that I've mentioned a while ago, factors affecting inventory control. So what are those factors that we have to consider and that we have to always monitor? So I'll be asking from the participants. Let's have Ma'am Marie Jean. Ma'am Marie Jean, please read to us po the different factors affecting inventory control. Thank you. If wala pong microphone si Ma'am Marie, what about po Sir Leo? Okay, I think I can hear Sir Leo. Ma'am Marie. Wala ang microphone. What about Sir Leo? Let's have Sir Leo this time.
Yes po, sir.
Tapos na po ba kayo kanina, Sir Leo?
Yes po.
Okay. Sorry for sorry for that mistake. Let's have Ma'am Nur Amin. Ma'am Nur Amin.
Yes, sir.
Or Sir? Sir Nur Amin Alonto. Okay. Sige po. What are the factors affecting inventory control? Please read. Thank you.
There are materials that need a special treatment when doing inventory. With this, your inventory control is greatly affected by the following factors. Type of product. Inventory management must take into consideration the different types of product in stock. For example, some products may be perishable and therefore have a shorter shelf life than others. In this case, inventory must be managed to ensure that these items are rotated in line with expiration dates. Types of manufacture. Manufacture type affects also the inventory control as inventory management is also
All right. Okay, sir. So we have volume of production, types of manufacture, and type of product. Thank you po, Sir Nur Amin. All right. So first that we have to consider is type of product. It must it must be considered uh, are the different types of product in stock. Okay. So may mga products that are perishable. Of course, you need to really take good care of them very well. Kailangan silang ma-dispose na and things like that. They have shorter shelf life than the others. Kaya very careful tayo na hindi natin makalimutan itong mga perishable products. It must be managed to ensure that these items are rotated in line with expiration dates. The manufacture type. Okay, so there are three types of manufacture: make to stock for manufacturing, make to order, MTO. So these are the terms we use, and make to, all right, make to assemble, the MTA. All right, so iba-iba yung ating types of manufacturing. Now, we also have the volume of production that we have to consider. Kung kailang, kasi, di ba, less or more of something is not good. Okay, kasi uh, iba, konti lang pala yung kailangan natin, but we have produced a lot. We have produced a great number of a certain resource. Kaya hindi din siya maganda. Okay, especially that these resources or these products might experience damage the more that they stay there. Ayan, as time goes by, di ba, nagde-deplete or nade-deteriorate yung isang product in terms of its quality. Most of the time, inventory controllers take into account the numbers of the existing materials before they produce a certain number. All right. So this time, let's go to the next one. All right. With this, I'd like to call in Sir Robert. Redo Robert. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, sir.
It's okay,
Okay.
sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Inventory control in terms of the organization of the stock is vital for the proper running of your company. It will ensure that you have enough units to fulfill orders and have safety stock. Effective inventory control techniques will also help you avoid having any dead stock or overstock.
All right. Thank you, sir. Like what was mentioned a while ago, this is something that we really avoid, okay? That we understock or we overstock, or yeah, the dead stock here. That's kaya it's very important that we take note if our techniques are working well, our inventory management system is working, it tailor fits the need of our company. Kapag marami na masyado, yet our inventory control and management cannot keep up with our work. We cannot keep up with our nature, with our stocks, everything. Kapag slow siya, we have to upgrade our skills, not only our skills, but also our system, the software as well. Kaya napakahalaga na we take that into consideration. All right. So this time, hold on, wait a moment. Okay. We go to, all right, no problem, Liana. Just a moment po. I'll have to fix something. Wait up for a while. Okay. So this time we'll have top 7 inventory control best practices. For this, I'll be asking, just a moment. All right, balik tayo kay Ma'am Adan. Okay, for the inventory best practices by many organizations.
Yes, po, sir. Inventory best practices by many organizations. The most effective inventory control methodology can vary between companies. Whichever methodology you choose, it should be clear to employees and have well-defined policies and procedures. If you use software with your methodology, look at systems that boast the key features your company needs, not just a one-size-fits-all package. Organizational control starts with labeling items, whether via SKUs or a more complex system. Quality control requires having quality standards and policy for staff to follow.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So again, the most effective inventory control methodology can vary between companies because we vary on the context of our organization, we vary on our processes, even the resources that we have, yung ginagamit natin, yung mga kailangan natin, yung ating mga, the context says it all. Okay, the koto, the context of the organization. And the control has can go a long way. The control has a lot of benefits to the inventory control and the practices, the system, everything that has something to do with our inventory management has a long way. Okay. So, well, the SKUs here, for those who are not familiar with the term, okay, this is the stock keeping unit. So this is the code that we use, or the seller assigns to every type of item that they sell or it sells. Okay, so say SKU, stock keeping unit. All right. Or you can, maybe you have a more complex system that later on I'll be asking you to share as well. All right. So whatever system you use, for as long as it works in your company or your organization, we cannot really say that there is a superior system over the other. There are more expensive systems or softwares, but if it's too much for for your company because maliit lang siya, maliit pa lang kayo, you don't have, if Excel works better, it's up to you. But I know we know better. Now we know when we will be needing a more complex system, or if it means like you have to spend an amount of money for the system, if it can make your company more productive, then I think uh, that would be a good compromise. Okay, so let's have the inventory basic by Fishbowl. I'd like to ask our technical team to share again the video. Thank you.
Hi, I'm James. This is Whiteboard Wednesday. My boss gave me 90 seconds to explain all this or I lose my job. Great! Inventory basics. Obviously, you're going to be getting stuff from some vendor or supplier to your business, you're putting on your shelf, and either redistributing or producing a new product, or a little bit of both. What do we do about our location? We can either have it on site and on hand, we can have it off site if we're starting small, or there's even the option of drop ship, or a little bit of all. Identify, this is really important with our inventory. We need to make sure we're using stock keeping unit, known as a SKU, making sure we ID label everywhere that we can so we know exactly what we have, where we have it. It's going to take a little more time in the beginning, but then you're not looking and searching, you know where stuff belongs, whether you're taking it down or putting it back up. Units of measure, are you dealing in pounds? Are you dealing in the metric system? Are you dealing with ounces? Know what you're counting. Also know, are you counting by tens? Are you counting by the box, the individual part? Something that small can really mess you up. Know what your system is. Plan. What kind of plan do you have in place as to how you are using your inventory management? Are you trying to push each item through and hit an allotted certain number every quarter, production week, whatever it is? Or are you pulling it through? Relative to every order you receive, that's when you make your product. This requires a little bit more input from your computer. In fact, a lot more. Let's get to that. Records. Are you doing it on paper? Sure, it's easy to start with. It's very cheap. But then you have to keep track of all of that. All those files, all that information. And if you plan on growing, that's going to be a nightmare when you have to make the transition to the computer, where you can have everything on hand, all your files in one place. And if you make use of the cloud, boom, you've got backup storage and you don't have to worry about losing files even if something happens to your business computer. So, inventory basics. These are simple things, but if you're not making use of them or even planning for them, well, you're planning to fail or something like that. I don't know. I only had 90 seconds. I hope I don't run out of time.
All right. Okay, so there you have it. Wait, let me share again. Yeah, so there are things that you have to um okay, these are the things that you have to consider. The inventory basics, so we have to know them. These are fundamental knowledge on inventory. So you have to identify the location, identify if it's the unit, the unit of measure, the ID labels, and you have to plan whether to push or pull or to, and also the record where you're going to keep the record, paper or PC. So based on your responses a while ago, I think you made mention that you were more on PC, which is better because it can just pull up, no, you pull up the record immediately, can find isang search mo lang, andun na agad. Kaysa sa paper na mahirapan ka pa paghanap sa specific item, things like that. So, I don't know if I believe wala nang nag-sustain na lang ngayon sa paper. Though you have both paper and PC, but I think no company just stays now on paper record. All right. So now let's in choosing a management improvement methodology. Okay. I mean in talking about top seven in inventory control best practices, let's have the number one, choose a management improvement methodology. So in management improvement methodologies, it involves more than just inventory control. You can improve your business from top to bottom with a management methodology that you can commit to. Example, wait, hold on. Examples include Kaizen, Lean, and Six Sigma. All right. So we are going to substantiate each example as we go on. Now, optimize purchasing procedures. So for number two, one of the hallmarks of a proper inventory management is ensuring that you use data and forecasting to control your purchasing procedures. This also includes identifying items by monitoring customer demand, removing obsolete stock, and adjusting safety stock and reorder points. Okay, so optimize. For us to maximize or optimize purchasing procedures, we have to make sure that every data uh, is updated or up to date. Okay, and especially on, wait a moment. Okay, especially on the forecasting, forecasting your control to control your purchasing procedures. Okay, use the data and the forecasting. Later on, we will be talking more about how or in which part you use this data. Okay, you identify the items, how by monitoring the customer demands, right? So talagang based lang naman din sa customer demands and the allowance that we set. Okay? Yung kailangan, 'di ba? Hindi naman talaga lang na kung ano lang yung demand ng customer, yun lang yung ipoproduce or yun lang yung produce. But yun lang din ang stocks because we have that allowance. Removing obsolete stock and adjusting safety stock and reorder points. Now, for number three, manage supplier relationship. It is critical to manage supply chain relationship well because you can often head off and solve problems by working closely with suppliers. So, importante that we have good relationship with supplier, di ba? Alam natin yan. Kapag we establish a good relationship with the supplier, sometimes or most of the time, if not all the time, um nakakapag discount tayo, all right? Spend tayo less than what we are intended to spend. Okay, may mga discounts, may mga benefits, okay? And we are sure that they're going to give the best of their products to us. We are going to prioritize that because of that relationship. So suppliers can offer your business a negotiable minimum order quantity, take back products that are not selling, and help you quickly restock when sales accelerate for a specific product. They will, because of that open communication, kung if there are instances na nakakalimutan natin to restock, andyan sila to remind us. Okay, because our communication is open with them, or their communication is open. Our communication is open to them, right? At they can make compromises because of that established relationship. Number four is create automated reports. That's a best practice as well. Since inventory control and management system produce massive quantities of data, businesses need to find ways to analyze, report, and use this data. Like many systems automatically generate reports for inventory status, stock logs, reconciliation, historical stock, aging inventory, and inventory financials. Okay, because of this automated reports, our work becomes efficient and becomes effective. Kaya importante, like sabi ko nga kanina, we don't only stay for paper on the traditional methods, paper-based reports. Kaya uh, most especially during the pandemic, this was mostly emphasized or highlighted. We were forced to put everything into e-files. In that way, we can share uh, across distance. No, it can our reports can be shared. We can still work even from home or from a distance. We can still collaborate and work together, and that's the most important thing about report making. Number five, conduct a risk assessment. Problems regularly crop up in businesses, whether you have an unexpected sales spike, a cash shortfall, not enough warehouse space, an inventory miscalculation, slow moving products, or discontinued products. We prepare a risk assessment matrix to determine what your worst risks are and how you can address them when they occur. So this is a best practice when we do risk assessment. It's not just all about inventory. It's not just about forecasting or gathering data on the manufacturing, uh, handling, or the quantity and the unit of measure. Not just about number, but also of foreseeing risks. Okay, the inventory management also has to deal with risk management or risk assessment. Importante din siya. So that in forecasting or foreseeing these risks, we can avoid much damage, okay, on our products. All right, we cannot afford a lot of risks. Risks are there, we cannot stop them, we cannot avoid them, but we can mitigate the risks. We can lessen the impact or the damage this risk can do to our uh, company, to our product, and to our company in general. Number six, regularly audit. Okay, also a best practice. Well, um, we conduct con, conduct regular audits to ensure that your actual stock and reports line up. All right. There are three ways to perform an audit. First, physical goods, spot checking, and cycle counting. All right. So the physical goods, the spot checking, and the cycle counting. Later on our application of this information or this input, we're going to see clearly how these audits are being done. A physical inventory requires counting all your inventory and should be performed at least annually and often at the end of the year to line up with income tax reports. Um, it varies per company or per group. How often do you do your auditing? I'd like everyone to respond through the chat box. How often do you do your audit? Others do it annually, usually at the end of the year. Others at the end of the month. How do you do your how do you how often do you do your audit? How regular do you do it? So please type in the chat box. Do you do it once a month or twice a month? I mean once a year, twice a year, or more often than it? Thank you. I'm going to wait for your responses we talk before we discuss the last, okay, the last inventory control best practices. For Sir Robert, they do it monthly. All right. What about the others? How often do you do? Thrice a year for Sir Loomer. And I believe, yeah, this schedule can be regular or when the need arises. So basically most of the time, thrice a year. Okay, thank you. Keep your responses coming so that we can have a comparison. And I think from this, from your, from the frequencies of your auditing, we can see that magkakaiba talaga tayo ng practices, no? Selective inventory control. And we cannot really say that, yung thrice a year, masyadong, ano na yan, hindi effective. We cannot say that because whatever, like what I said, we do systems and practices that tailor fit our context and our need. Kaya, yan, if we need it to be done monthly, then do so. Many techniques fall under selective inventory control and management or forecasting, such as ABC analysis. In this form of analysis, you classify the inventory with one of the following: usage value, procurement source, and procurement difficulty, seasonality, unit price, and rate of consumption. Okay, so this is what we do in the ABC analysis. We take into consideration, or we classify the inventory with these, okay, with one of the following. It's either usage value or procurement source or procurement difficulty, seasonality, the unit price, and the rate of consumption. Okay, so if we become, sabi nga nila, if we become selective, we can become effective, or we can become effective only if we become selective. Whatever fits, again, whatever is appropriate and whatever is effective and efficient for your company, then do so. Okay, no problem, Sir Armand. Yes, you will have your presentation. You will have a copy of this presentation along with your certificate at the end of the session. All right. So let's have the jumbled letters activity. Okay. So alam ko marami sa inyo dito magaling when it comes to this one. Tingnan natin who are the linguistically inclined participants. Okay, paunahan po tayo sa chat box para po tingnan natin kung sino ang mga keyboard warriors natin dito. These words have something to do with our topic or discussion. Control. Nauna si Ma'am Liana. Okay. The first keyboard warrior to prove herself and her caliber is Ma'am Liana. Control. Next word. What about this one? Okay, inventory. Inventory. All right. And Sir Arman got the correct answer sa inventory first. All right, again, another correct answer coming from Sir Arman. The first one to respond is manufacturer. Okay, what about this one? Sentiment? Sentimental? What do you think? You can do it. No one's responding yet. Assessment. Ma'am Adan got the correct answer first. Assessment. All right. Thank you, Sir Nur Amin. And what about this one? Skit. All right. Sir Arman got the correct answer first. Stock. Okay. Ayan. All right. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Okay, since we're almost done, we're going to talk about four popular inventory control strategies before the sharing time and the Q&A portion. So let's have a 10-minute break to grab some snack and to have water break or any comfort break. Okay, so we'll be back at 11:15. I'll see you again.
Are you a medical professional, an educator, an engineer, or a professional seeking specialized training programs? Stellar Training Consultancy Services is the right training center for you. STCS issues highly government-recognized certification programs that help you as a professional in your career goals. STCS ensures regulatory and statutory compliance to protect you as you skyrocket your career to the top. STCS offers various training modes such as face-to-face sessions, blended sessions, and virtual sessions to ensure the accessibility and availability of the training programs. All training programs offered by Stellar Training Consultancy Services are well thought and created professionally to ensure reliability and retention among participants. Stellar Training Consultancy Services bring excellence to professionals. Are you a medical professional, an educator, an engineer, or a professional seeking specialized training programs? Stellar Training Consultancy Services is the right training center for you. STCS issues highly government-recognized certification programs that help you as a professional in your career goals. STCS ensures regulatory and statutory compliance to protect you as you skyrocket your career to the top. STCS offers various training modes such as face-to-face sessions, blended sessions, and virtual sessions to ensure the accessibility and availability of the training programs. All training programs offered by Stellar Training Consultancy Services are well thought and created professionally to ensure reliability and retention among participants. Stellar Training Consultancy Services bring excellence to professionals. Are you a medical professional, an educator, an engineer, or a professional seeking specialized training programs? Stellar Training Consultancy Services is the right training center for you. STCS issues highly government-recognized certification programs that help you as a professional in your career goals. STCS ensures regulatory and statutory compliance to protect you as you skyrocket your career to the top. STCS offers various training modes such as face-to-face sessions, blended sessions, and virtual sessions to ensure the accessibility and availability of the training programs. All training programs offered by Stellar Training Consultancy Services are well thought and created professionally to ensure reliability and retention among participants. Stellar Training Consultancy Services bring excellence to professionals.
All right, and we are back. Thank you for. All right, so I hope you have maximized your time for. I had my water. Okay, break. Grab some snack too. So let's have. Yan, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina that we are going to talk about. All right. So we have the ABC analysis, the last in, first out, and the first in, first out, LIFO and the FIFO, and the batch tracking and the safety stock, which are the most common methods the in inventory control. Okay, the four popular inventory control strategies. So let's talk about them one by one. Let's begin with ABC analysis. Okay. All right. Here, this is an inventory classification strategy that categorizes the goods into three categories: A, B, and C. As the name suggests, it's based on their revenue. A signifies the most important goods. Okay. Letter B. Okay, so the most important goods. These are your expensive inventory, and accurate control is required in this category. Okay, it's an expensive inventory and accurate control because we cannot afford losing even a little under these uh under these category. Any good under this category, okay, is very vital. Okay, and it's crucial. Now, letter B indicates moderately necessary goods. And in this category, we do moderate value inventory and moderate control is required. Okay, so we do things just in moderation. Letter C indicates the least essential inventory. So there's a low cost inventory and minimum control is required. So as you can see, ABC starts from the level of priority. Letter A is the most important, letter C is the least important. Okay, so if we categorize our goods into these, people would be able to know, even if they are not experts of the inventory control, but they know they're aware of this analysis or this one. If you label them according to ABC and they know about this one. So alam nila the most important. B, C is the least, B in moderation. Okay, so for example, on the table here that you can see on the screen, there are purses that are lesser in count. We only have 30 pieces and only contributes 30% of the total inventory, but it could yield 70,000 peso sale or 70,000 sales, accounting to 70% of the total earnings of the company. So it is in category A because it's most important, although there are only 30 items. However, the sales are in great number and they contribute to the greatest sale, the sales, overall sales of the company. Yan, napaka-importante niya. Yeah, it's high in demand. Shoes, 80 pieces. The sales is 20,000. It only contributes 20% of the total earnings. The earrings, 120 pieces, contributes 10%. It's C. Okay, it's least demanded, and it contributes the least to the overall sales. Kaya siya letter C, A, B, C. Okay, all right. And you can go on um, more complex use of this method. Okay, depending on of course, ang dami yung products, no? Kaya yan. All right. Now, another one is the last in, first out, LIFO, and the first in, first out, FIFO method. Here, the last in, first out method assumes that the last unit to arrive in inventory or more recent is sold first. Okay, the last to arrive. And in the first in, first out method assumes that the oldest unit of inventory is sold first. All right, so Like may dalawang ways how to deal with the goods, the LIFO and the FIFO. So we'll see an example. Sorry, technical team. I'd be asking you again this time. I think this is the last video we have to play. Thank you. Nag-update kasi yung aking Zoom and the QuickTime player is not updated. So we'll see. Okay, later on, please share your best practices in the company as well and how it helped you. All right, let's watch this first. All right. So remember that inventory also has to deal with storage, right? And handling. So in this process, we have to follow a more convenient way and efficient way of handling them. All right, handling our products, our goods, or whatever it is we deliver. So the LIFO is for delivery. The first, we make sure that the last product or the last good that we are going to uh, store or keep will be the first one to go out. All right, or to be removed. And in contrast to LIFO, the FIFO, the first in will be the first out for ferries. And if you need to, like, it depends on your storage, right? So yan talaga. It's more on storage and handling your goods and products. So LIFO and FIFO. Now, the batch tracking, what is this? It is an inventory management practice through which businesses can trace and monitor the history of a group of items with similar properties as those items make their way through production and distribution channels all the way to the customer. So, for example, these numbers for two flavors produced by the hypothetical Kulak Lake Humus Company are typical of how many companies assigned, all right, batch numbers, but there are no firm rules for numbering. No firm rules for numbering. So 1, 21, 29304. So 01, unique two-digit flavor prefix. If you have the 01 assigned to a specific flavor, the 2021, the year, 293, Julian date for October 20. Okay, Julian date for October 20 and fourth batch of the day. So the number of the batch, the Julian date. 4, you have assigned dates as well. So again, there's no rule for numbering. It is uh company decision or discretion. It's your company coding. Okay? Kaya yung mga codes na kayo lang nakakaalam. So there are times that codes are very important. Kaya sila tinawag na code so that uh, they don't give obvious information or data to the other companies. Okay? So yeah, you just assign codes to keep things at the most, private or confidential way. The Pit Humus, we have 3 unique 2-digit flavor, 03, 22 is the year of production, 2022, or storage. And Julian date for June 10, 161, and first batch of the day, 01. Okay, so that's batch tracking. I don't know if how you track or how you assign numbers for your specific product or for your batch of products, but for you to trace and monitor the history of a group, yan, minsan no, uh, kaya talagang we trace back to our coding, or we trace a particular product to our record, oh, based on the code. Kasi sa code pa lang hindi mo agad ito alam. Especially if hindi mo memorize, if bago ka pa. So you have to refer to the batch tracking. Okay, this is for uh, to keep confidentiality and also to help you trace and monitor the history of a group with similar properties. 01, 04, anong batch ito? 04, so sa ending pa lang alam niyo na agad. Parang sa mga plate numbers natin, alam natin kung sino lang ang pwedeng lumabas based on the number. Okay? PO based. I see, Sir Leo. Leo is PO based sila. Okay, like what we said, whatever is or whatever fits or best works for you, yeah, go on with that. And it's working well naman din po, sir, no? PO based. All right. How about the others? So for example, this one, the strategy of backtracking, all right, is in an inventory control involves creation of batch numbers or BN, which are usually found at the back label of the product along with the best before. Okay, so we have best before in the BN. So we have the BN here, batch 210,149, for example. So this one has a specific, of course, they're the coding of the company that manufacture this one. All right, and the BB, best before 0912, September 12, 2025. Okay, so the company has the knowledge of these codes lang. So sila lang nakakaalam kung ano ito, and if they look at that particular code, alam nila kung kailan to, anong batch ito na release, okay, and so on. Now, the safety stock, which is the last method. It is an extra quantity of a product which is stored in the warehouse to prevent an out of stock situation. Ito yung ayaw natin. Why? Because if we go out of stock, we keep our customers waiting. And we don't want that to happen because there's a potential of losing them, a great potential, and that's a risk. And we don't, as much as possible, we want to avoid risk. And to avoid risk, we do the safety stock method. Okay? We have extra quantity, we set extra quantity of a product to store in the warehouse. It serves as an insurance against fluctuations in demand. So safety stock, you cannot just like hindi mo pwedeng like mag-estimate ka lang ng kung magkano or ilan ang iso-store mo as an extra quantity. You need to set um the prescribed or what do you call this, just the appropriate amount, okay, for an extra quantity. How to solve that? We have the formula: max daily usage times max lead time in days minus average daily usage times average lead time in days. For example, ito, okay, we have the SKU, the assignment, all right, the code, the stock keeping unit. All right. Sa SKU, the code is TS9056782 ito na product or na item 20 ay yung kanyang max daily use. The average daily use is 15. Okay? The maximum lead time is 10 and the average lead time is 7. All right? So we keep this 27. So for the solution, 20 times 20 times okay, so dito pala tayo sa TS90 56 78 26 27 20 25 and 20. All right, how to solve? Max daily usage 27 yung nagagamit. Ang the max lead time is 25. So 27 times 25 minus the average daily use is 20. The average lead time is 20. All right, and equals to n. So 65, the lead time is in days. 675 minus 400 equals to 275. So you only have to stock 275 units for that particular item as an extra quantity. Regardless of my ano ba, kailangan ba siya agad or we are talking about extra quantity that you have to store to avoid the out of stock crisis. Okay? So, yeah, I think that's very easy. Just have to refer to this again. The stock, safety stock. Kayo po ba? Do you follow this in your company? I think it's like common. I think it's common practice, no, that we set extra quantity. Kahit nga yung sa atin lang, di ba? Pag we store money, we leave extra amount of money for something that is unexpected. Personally, 'di ba? In our personal budgeting. What about in your practice? Meron po ba kayong gumagamit po ba kayo ng safety stock method or you just estimate? What do you think? How about in your company or among your practices? Do you follow the solution or you have a different solution or different way of setting extra quantity? So maybe we can do that during our sharing. Which of the four strategies have you tried doing in your organization? Isa-isahin ko kayo, okay lang po. Because we have more time. Like what I said, we can substantiate this training with your experience and how we can better improve your experience. Let's start with, dito tayo sa mga nag-respond muna. First, sa mga hindi po makapag-unmute, you can respond through the chat box. The question is, which of the four strategies have you tried doing in your organization? Let's go back to those four. All right, here. Which of these four strategies do you use? You can, maybe if you use four, why not? 3 of 4 or 2 of 3. So I'll start with Miss Lumer. Saan po dito yung familiar? Maybe the term is different, but the practice is almost the same.
Sir, yung safety stocks, pero parang hindi yata gumagamit ng ganung formula.
I see.
Parang naabutan ko na kasi meron silang ganun na nakasulat sa mga items na nakasulat ay safety stocks. So parang
but as to
parang ayaw ko siyang i-compute.
yeah, but as to how they were able to identify the quantity of safety stock, hindi po kayo aware. Okay.
Siguro po baka po based on sa tagal nung aking boss. Baka sa experience niya na ito
parang based on the estimate na lang yan, no? Yeah. And
Ayoko pong bilangin, sir, ng mathematical lahat-lahat yun. Eh, kung aabot ng 1,000, mga ilang araw.
Exactly. Okay, that's
Yeah. Pero maganda
understandable.
sana, maganda po. Kung siguro, baka sa akin ma-assign pa yun ha, dahil nag-seminar ako ngayon, no? Baka mamaya pag swerte. Naku, Yomer, i-ano mo yan, i-safety stock mo kung tama. Huwag naman.
Okay. I see. Okay, thank you,
Thank
Miss.
you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. Yes, yun talagang mga sinasabi natin na ang experience hindi talaga natatawaran no ng kahit anong sistema. Pag na-experience, maybe your boss has experienced a lot of maybe losses before or nag-learn siya talaga from his experience kaya nagagaman niya na no na estimate niya. There are really a lot of people who can do that, but also a lot of people fail on that note. Kaya talagang napaka-importante that we quantify or not just through estimation. There are a lot of instances no that we need to be accurate as possible in setting our uh, we really start from small quantities naman talaga. No, our company start from small or humble beginnings, mga small quantities until we deal with big ones or large quantities, large amount. So I think yeah, I think that that works. Um, but if you start with large quantities na, that can be very overwhelming with this using this method kasi ang dami and then you're not still used to it to the formula and so there's like that kind of anxiety or hesitation to use the method. All right. Pero pag expert ka na dito, no matter how the unit or the quantity changes, yeah, doesn't really worry you at all. Okay, with Ma'am Juneth, I don't have an experience since I'm currently with HR unit. Pag medyo naubusan kami ng supply sa unit namin, we just inform our supply officer. Yeah, okay. And that also works for you. The supply officers give you the supplies needed kasi meron. Sila yung nagsa-stock. Sila yung nagse-set ng extra stocks, no? Nila doon. Okay, so as of the moment, as to Ma'am Junet's experience, we don't know what their supply officer is using. But basically, Ma'am Junet, hindi naman din kayo naubusan. Lagi pag nagre-request kayo, merong supply na naibibigay. And that happens all the time. Or naka-experience kayo na wala silang naibigay kasi out of stock sila. That usually happens. Sa amin din. I'll just give you an example kasi last time, nag-request ako ng isang ream of bond paper. It's very simple, but from the supply officer, pero out of stock. And alam nila na ginagamit talaga namin sa school. So, ayun, maybe they have not anticipated it or they are used to having this one. Like, nag-explain na lang sila na, oh, out of stock, we have to wait. But that would impede or that would slow us down. So, talagang naapektuhan yung production and yung aming activities. Pero dahil nakasanayan, 'di ba? May mga times na yung nakasanayan natin, akala natin tama because it's nadadaan lang sa mabuting usapan or sa hintayan, but we kind of um realize na at the end that you have not become as productive as you were intended to be or you were supposed to be. Okay? Same with then si Sir Arman kay Ma'am Juneth. If you experience out of stock crisis, you have to consider there is something needs to be improved in your inventory system. You tell your supply officer to consider this kind of method. All right, so that wala nang out of stock thing na mangyayari. All right, so oh yeah. Next, which of the four strategies, yes, that you have tried using? You can reply with none, or you can reply with ABC, LIFO, FIFO, BT, or SS para easy. ABC, uh, LF, BT, or SS. 1, 2, 3. For Sir Leo, is it the ABC or the A, the ABC, the L? I think that's it. 1, 2, 3 analysis sa inyo po. The SS and FIFO for Sir Robert. With Sir Leo, I think if I'm right, there are two ways to interpret your response: pwedeng 1, 2, 3 analysis or ABC analysis, or the ABC. The first, second, and third, sir. Tama po ba, Sir Leo?
Yes, sir, yung ABC, last, and batch tracking, sir.
Okay, I see. So the ABC, the batch tracking.
Tapos yung safety stock, sir,
Safety
hindi
stock.
po namin ginagamit po.
I see. Okay, thank you po, Sir Leo, for clarifying that. What about the others? A FIFA for generally available supplies po. Yan. Yes, Ma'am Adan. Yeah. We basically, I think we use this one. FIFO, LIFO, yeah. General available supplies. Good. Then kailangan, no? It's a must. We practice this one. Okay. And you have tried doing in your organization. Others, you're not directly involved with tasks or job descriptions that would require you learning these strategies, but if you happen to know your supply officer, you can share this knowledge with them. Also share the slide that we're going to share with you, so that they will also have the technical know-how of, or they can improve, perhaps they can improve their inventory control and management system using these strategies. Our safety stock is constant on 20% of the actual item. It's in constant, and if that works for you, yes, that that would that will do. If you set that on that percentage, kasi naman, if it won't work anymore, nag-change din naman tayo. Our systems are flexible. It must be flexible because ang daming nagbabago, no? As time goes by, a lot of things change. So our systems also have to change. Small to large details. All right. So do you have any questions? If none, okay, I'll be waiting for a question through the chat box if you have. But for now, let me just present to you our in many ways you can contact us. You can send us a message. You can visit our website. Everything is there. Our contact infos are there. You can also have a screenshot of this. For our email addresses are here. You can reach us out through admin@stellartraining.asia, training team at Stellar Training Asia, .asia, hello@stellartraining.asia, and our social media account, www.facebook.com/STCS All right. If you have something to ask, you can freely do it now. You can type in the chat box if your microphone doesn't work well. Okay, while we are waiting for that, please do some retouch. Okay, because I know you would want to look best in our photo op or in our screenshot. All right, I'll be asking everyone to turn on your video for picture taking. This will also serve as your attendance that you have endured the 2 hour long training. All right. So in my queue, habol sina Ma'am Junet, Ma'am Adan, Ma'am Regine, Ma'am Liana. All right. And on my count, team B, I think they're ready. So in 3, Ma'am Regine, pwede pang humabol, Ma'am Liana, 2, 1. And walkie pose. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you very much, dear participants. I will not hold you long because I know you're preparing for the best part of this, the lunch break. Thank you so much, sa lahat. I hope to see you again next time in one of our trainings. Have a great day and keep safe. If you have questions that would arise after this training, you can reach us out through our social media account. Have a great time. Enjoy, everyone.